So now let's try a fast forward merge, which, just to recap from 2 minutes ago at the end of the last video, a fast forward merge is a special case of a merge. It's a simpler merge to perform. The commands are the same, but from Git's perspective, it's really easy because all it has to do is move a pointer up some number of commits to catch up or to fast forward to some particular destination commit. So in these diagrams, we're fast forwarding master 2 commits if we merge the bug fix branch into master. So that's what we're going to practice. We're going to try this out. Remember that this is a special case of a merge. Not all merges work this way. And also remember the steps. The first step is to switch to the destination branch we're merging into. So back here, if we go with these diagrams, we need to switch over to master if we weren't on master already, assuming we want to merge these commits into master. Then all we do is run git merge and then some branch we want to merge into master. And then in this case, that will make master catch up on those commits from bug fix. In other situations, we might have some additional work to do in the event that there's additional commits on master that don't exist on bug fix, or there's conflicting information. That is what we'll talk about in the next couple of videos. But for now, we're just going to practice with a fast forward merge. So switch to the branch and then merge some other branch in. Okay, so let's try it out. So over here on our playlist example, we have, quite a few branches. I haven't shown this, but if we use -v, we get a little bit more information. We get the last commits, the tip of the branch, and the commit message alongside the branch name. So we started off with our master branch. It's very simple, right? If I switch to it, it just has these 2 ABBA songs. We look at git log. We have 2 commits there. And then we have our oldies branch, which I think I'm going to merge into master. So let me take a look at oldies. So it has some additional content, but if we look at git log, it just has the first 2 commits from master, and then it has, 3 more commits on top? But nothing has happened to the master branch since we split off, since we created this oldies branch. So this is an example of what would be a fast forward merge. Just to be clear here, I'm using this distinction, I'm calling it a fast forward merge, but the commands you use are still just git merge, and I'll show you a merge in the next video that is not a fast forward. It behaves the same way. We use the same commands. You'll just see there's an extra hurdle along the way, potentially. Anyway, I want to merge my oldies branch into master so I can get all of this stuff in my master branch. So we'll go to master, git switch, master. That's the first step. Okay, once again, I do git log. We only have 2 commits. This is where master leaves off. This is all that it has. But now I'm going to run git merge and then the name of the branch I want to merge into master. I'm currently on master. I want to merge the commits from oldies. And what do we see? It says fast forward right there. And it tells me 1 file changed, 7 insertions, 1 deletion. Let's take a look at our playlist file now. Cool. We can see that all of this stuff was added in. And more importantly, if we look at git log, we see that we had the first commits that we always had on this branch, but now we have these other commits that came from the oldies branch, the George Jones commit, George Harrison commit, and the Van Morrison commit. And that is our first successful merge. We merged the content, the commits from oldies on to master. Now, a very important note is that we still have the oldies branch. It doesn't delete that branch. It's still there. So I could go back to oldies and do something new, and it would not exist on master. So they're not forever in sync. This is one moment where everything from oldies was added on to master. But that doesn't mean that they're the same and that they'll stay the same if they are. They're still separate branches, and I can do separate work. They are distinct contexts. But right now, the commits from oldies were merged in to master, and that's an example of a fast forward merge where the master branch, in our case, had to catch up on commits from a merged branch.